All right, we're going live here in my unfinished basement. Just got booted to the basement because I have a son that is going to be born any day now. And so I get this lovely office space. So I got booted from his room that is now going to be the nursery. But anyway, so, living the unfinished basement life right now. Today, I want to talk about the power of investing in off-market real estate. So you can buy rental properties from Zillow or the MLS. It's really difficult to do that because you have to find a really good deal, meaning you have to wait. And most of the time people are listing their houses on the MLS for full market value. And that just doesn't work with how interest rates are right now. So you can't buy a house and, with the traditional financing and get it to cash flow. It's just impossible, right? So if you're going into something with, most of the time people are buying with a 6% interest rate, maybe a 5.99. At those numbers, you're coming out the other end with, monthly payment. If you're buying a house with the average purchase price here in Utah of $500,000, right? Your monthly payment is somewhere in the, $3,500 range or more. Yeah. So finding something that is paying that amount, like you're not going to find a rental, right? You're not going to find someone that's going to rent for that much. Rent rates just don't match up to how interest rates and payments are right now. So we have to buy off market. So there's a few ways to do that. So first way that I think is really easy for a beginner investor to do, which is wholesaler. So you can go and find a wholesalers. Okay, so that's a really great way. These are people that are expert in finding deals that are off market. So they will usually have you give them your email, and then every day or whenever they get a new deal that they lock up under contract, they'll send you that deal, and it will normally be, below value price, so under market value. So they'll give you a deal. So they'll say, the email will be like, new deal near you. Right, that's what the subject line will be, and then they'll give you the address, so it'll tell you where the house is, and then it will say asking price, and the asking price will normally be, it'll say that the asking price is, $250,000, and then we'll say ARV. So what does ARV mean? That's after repair value. Okay, so that's after you fix this house up and it's in its best shape possible. It will now be worth, they'll say somewhere around, $400,000. So, and that happens every day. I get, somewhere between 20 to 30 emails every single week from wholesalers doing deals just in Utah. So these houses will normally be pretty beaten down, and they will need a lot of work, which is okay because, you're a newbie real estate investor, so you're just trying to get into the game anytime, any way that you can. I would actually suggest this strategy for a first-time home buyer, someone that wants to get into the real estate market, but they want to just use their FHA program. So that's First-Time Home Buyer Association or whatever it stands for. That will allow you to get into a house at a rate of 3% down. Okay, so you only need to bring 3%. Sometimes you can bring 0% down. Okay, so that's awesome, right? You can buy a house that's, whatever price you buy it for, and then use this FHA program. Okay, you can also get into these houses, with hard money as well. But the idea is that you're buying a property that's below market value. Okay, so again, stepping back, a wholesaler, they will find deals off market, people that aren't necessarily listing their house for sale, but they will reach out to people that don't have their house for sale, and they'll say, hey, would you consider selling your house? And sometimes they'll say yes, and then they'll negotiate and get a lower price, and then they'll lock up a purchase agreement with that purchase agreement. One more E. And they'll say, okay, we're going to buy your house for this price. And then they put on there that this contract is assignable. Okay, so they'll get their purchase price. That's terrible. $250K. And then with this, they have the agreement. They're able to assign that contract to someone else. Now they can go to someone like me or someone like you, and they can say, I want to assign this contract. And now their name was on the contract. But now because their contract is assignable, we can now put my name or your name on the contract. And then they get a fee, okay? So they have it under contract for $250K. They're gonna sell it to me, let's say for $270K. And then they're gonna take a fee of $20,000 to them for finding the deal. And I'll pay that any day, right? Because, so I'll give you a little example. I actually purchased the house just recently, a few months ago. Off market, it was from a wholesaler. The house was worth $475,000. And they sold it to me for $355,000. Okay, it needed $55,000 in rehab or repair costs, right? But after I did that, I put that repair cost into it. Now I'm only into it $410,000. I was able to sell it on the MLS, right? That's not where you find deals. That's where you sell deals to, other people that are trying to buy houses to live in, people that aren't looking for good deals, people that are just looking to, buy a house to live in it and make a profit. So that's what I did. I listed it on the MLS and sold it on the MLS after I fixed it up. Okay. So wholesale, again, that's a really great way to find deals. The other way to find off-market deals is you could go direct to seller. Okay. So you could find people that are motivated. There's lots of different motivation. The way I like to go after deals is through foreclosures or pre-foreclosures. Okay. So pre-foreclosures. Okay. These are an excellent source of, deal finding. So these are people that are motivated and they are distressed. Okay. So these are two things. So any way that you can find someone that's motivated to either sell quickly or sell at a discount. So speed or discount, usually both. Okay. And so, and then all you have to do from there is really just get good at knowing what houses are worth. And that's really easy. I've made other videos about actually finding comps and knowing what a deal is worth, or you could just reach out to your local real estate agent and say, hey, I want to buy this house. It's off market. Can you figure out what it's worth? And then do that. So we've done several of those where we've found properties off market, people that are facing foreclosure. So to find those people that are in foreclosure, I go to Property Radar. That's we pay monthly for that, but there's free ways to do this. You can go to propwire.com. Shout out to Jerry Norton, where you can actually look up properties of people that are in foreclosure. And then you can look up their phone number on an amazing website called True People Search.com. Go look your own address up on there. I'm sure you're going to find yourself. You can actually search people by name as well, but that will give you their contact information. So their phone number, and their name, because all you have is their address. You know that this address is in pre-foreclosure. Okay, so you have that person's address. Now you go to truepeoplesearch.com and you search them up and you call them and you say this. Okay, I'm dropping all the wisdom right now, everything that we do in my business. So we call them and we say, hey, I noticed that your lender was giving you some grief. Okay, so that's the key word. You want to create this dynamic there where the lender, that is the person that is the bad guy, right? So I'm on your side, but I noticed your lender was giving you some grief. Okay, lots of people will show up to these foreclosures and, they'll say, hey, I see that you're in foreclosure. What are you going to do? That just creates another enemy for that person to block on their phone, right? So I'm trying to create good, long-lasting, trust-founded relationships with these people. And so, again, that conversation goes like this. Hey, I noticed your lender was giving you some grief. I noticed that there was a notice of default and that your house is potentially going to foreclosure. Is that still going on? Okay. So, and then I start an open conversation with them And if so, then I'll open up to different options that we can do with them. In your case, maybe you're looking to actually buy a house. So you could say, well, what I could do for you is obviously your auction date is coming up. So say it's 3 weeks out. That doesn't give them enough time to sell their house on the MLS. Okay. So that's another really good key point is the MLS, right now in Utah, it's taking somewhere between 3, well, sometimes faster. I'll say 2 to say 3 months to sell a house on the MLS. Zillow. Okay, so that person, if their auction date is 1 month out, you don't have time to list it all on the MLS and get a purchase price like that, right? You would get a full price offer if you did it that way. But if they work with you or with me, you could come with them with cash and close fast. Okay. And that's because they have a time constraint and they're motivated. So they would most likely, so if their house is again worth 500,000, they would most likely be open to, taking a lower offer, say 400,000 or, even 350. Okay. Depending on the condition of their house, because then you can go to a hard money lender and buy that house for cash and then refinance it with traditional financing later on. Okay. So that is how you can find off-market deals. If you want to learn more about this, I actually have a community with several people that are in it right now. I talk about all of our ways. I actually have a course included in that community that allows you to learn everything A to Z that we do in my business, all of my scripts, the exact process of finding these leads and then calling them, how I market to them. We mail, we send text, we call, we door knock as well. Lots of different ways. You don't have to do all of those all up front. But yeah, that is what we're doing right now to be able to find these off-market deals. And so I will actually link that info in the description below. And then go ahead and follow me on Instagram as well. Just Cole Stevenson. I post lots of little short content about how to find off-market deals like this and just different things we're doing in the business. So thanks for joining. See you in the next one.